Hello, my beautiful beings. How you all doing today? Well, I hope. So, I am here for your Leo season reading, okay? Leo season reading. So, first time I showed these, mind was at the bottom, Mercury. I just saw Cancer. I feel I'm doing a pre-shuffle. Now y'all know Leo represents the strength and the Sun card in tarot. Also the Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Page of Wands, and a Page of Wands may be significant here because Cancer did show up. Ooh. So Page of Wands could be significant. So we got third house messages, okay, at the bottom. So I feel like overall the energy for the Leo season could have to do with either, I feel like it has something to do with being able to decipher downloads, decipher truths, with the Sun and the Strength card, having the emotional intelligence, right, with the I feel and mind, having the emotional intelligence to discerns one's truth, right? And I feel like with the Strength card, it could, that emotional intelligence, I saw a post, Fresh Start New Beginnings, I saw a post that was saying that emotional intelligence is being able to sit with an emotion before you express it. Okay, so that could be very significant for Leo season. This Leo season, possibly just sitting with yourself, discerning what your emotions are trying to tell you. Okay, bring love into the situation. Fresh start, new beginnings with that Page of Wands energy. I did shuffle this. We have the Devil at the bottom. And so I feel like the Devil definitely could be significant in regards to those emotions that may be coming up, those feelings that may be coming into your awareness, especially with Leo representing the Sun. So again, sitting with your shadow. Sitting with your shadow. Okay, sitting with yourself. Shining light. I even feel like with this new moon energy, right? So I'm looking at these cards and you have new moon in Aquarius, but then you have the new moon. So I feel like with the new moon energy, right? You know how when there's a new moon, it's dark. And so even with the Sun and the Leo energy, I feel like there's just light being shed on maybe your subconscious, possibly light being shed on the subconscious, light being shed on patterns, light being shed on patterns. Did I say that? Because I wasn't trying to say patterns the second time. I meant cycles. Things coming back up so that light can be shed on certain patterns that you have, right? Maybe that's why I said patterns again. Bring love into the situation. And so maybe again with that cycles, cycles coming around so that patterns can be illuminated by the sun, especially with that strength card. So yeah, then we had the Four of Cups here at the bottom of this deck, and it's so interesting because I feel like the Four of Cups is, I think this is more so of like the universe giving you an opportunity to close out cycles, to clear up certain close out certain cycles, to rid yourself of certain cycles. And so it may be a little bit hard, okay? It may be a bit frustrating. But again, I feel like you have the strength and the resolve to overcome it. You just have to see it for what it is. Okay? Employ pioneering spirit. We have Aries here. So I feel like this will overall just be, I feel like the groundwork that you set for, what's the 27th? So I feel like the whole Leo season, right, with 1 month, I feel like that's significant. I feel like that's significant here. Also, hey, quiet. Come here. Come here. Hey. Empress, hush your mouth. Be quiet. Be quiet. Also, I feel like with this Aries energy, we have Saturn going into Aries, right? So individuals there's a new, so for those that have Saturn in Pisces, right? So even with the new beginning, fresh starts, for those that have bring love into the situation, for those that have Saturn in Pisces, which like myself, I have Saturn in Pisces, again, this is you closing out cycles. And for Aries individuals, I feel like this is a cycle, or for those of you who have Saturn in Aries, I feel like this is an opportunity. This is a time period of where you will start to enter your Saturn return. And so some of the things that need to shift and happen in your life is about to start coming up for you. Okay? We got healing at the bottom. Let me get an overall energy. Y'all got a good 30 minutes. We'll pop that. We got the body. I have, owning, I will, desire. Interesting enough, I feel like these are very significant. First house, Taurus. First house, Taurus. Second house, Leo. And fire element, desire. So with this right here, I feel like owning one's desires. I feel like this I have is, for one, I have the ability to own my desires, right? Sometimes the body will tell you what it is that you desire through emotions, right? And so having the emotions and feeling them throughout your body will allow you to own your desires, to where you can will what it is that you want the outcome to be when it comes to this fresh start and new beginning. Okay? But I feel like you have to understand what your I feel like you have to own what your desires are so that you can will them into reality, right? Like you really have to own and hold yourself accountable for what it is that you desire. Now, I was just talking about desires in another video in regards to, we have these desires, but sometimes our desires can be from a lower nature, and sometimes they can be from a higher nature, right? Sometimes you can have your heart, well, most times it's your heart's desires, right? We're supposed to have heart's desires, but I feel like with that lower and higher nature, I'm talking about liar. Oh, that's crazy. So I feel like it's being able to discern what your true heart's desires are. And I think that comes with owning and holding yourself accountable. Like, I feel like this could be a period collective in which you could lie to yourself about what your true desires are. And I feel like those lies can come from rejecting parts of yourself. So whether that's, again, just operating from a shadow aspect of yourself and then not being integrated in, right? Owning your will, owning what it is that you do, owning your willpower, right? And so it's not denying yourself of a certain power that you have. It's acknowledging the power that you have so that you can truly be honest with yourself when it comes to these emotions that you feel, these emotions that you may be holding on to, possibly with the I have in your body. And so I feel like some of these emotions that may be coming up in your awareness are meant for you to let go, right? And I don't mean let go in a sense of like not acknowledging them. And so let's say you have shame, guilt, anger. So when I say let go, I'm not saying not acknowledge them or not being aware of them, but I mean not holding them in your body to the point that it controls your desires. And so if you have anger, right? Or if you have fear, or if you have shame, or if you have guilt, like sometimes this will affect what you feel you have the power to do. Hold on just a second. Okay, so feel like I need to move on from there. Let's move on. But I hope that makes sense to whoever it makes sense to. Okay, it's a lot of fire energy here with the Aries, Leo, fire desires, right? So I feel like, again, with these emotions, the Strength card, this is about your possibly just like, again, and you know what, I really want to do something real quick. We got creativity at the bottom. So I feel like this, again, has a lot to do with what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to will into existence. Wish for, long for, or feel the absence. And so awaiting what the stars will bring, or feeling the lack of a guiding star. And so that's crazy, because even with like me mentioning the lower and the higher self, I feel like the lower self, like the lower desires that you could have, and why certain things emotionally are being brought up that you may be holding on to, because it may be you holding on to lack. It may be a consciousness of lack that you may be holding in your body, and this is what's bringing out possibly the feeling of being disempowered. I'll go with that. And so when it comes from when you are moving from a space of feeling disempowered, then you have these certain desires that don't truly align with the heart space, and so you end up creating from a place of lack. And I feel like certain emotions are coming up, and even maybe just things with this Four of Cups coming up, like maybe you may be in a space whether this is for Saturn in Pisces or Saturn in Aries, you may be feeling in the space of where you have been creating from lack, and unbeknownst to you, like these emotions with the Four of Cups, some of these things have been coming up. God, the universe or source itself has been presenting these things to you so that it can come to your awareness of, hey, you keep creating these things that are a constant block because you're creating from a space of lack. And so I know you don't want this, and I'm trying to show you that overall what's in this cup may not be. And I know usually it's like the universe is offering you a cup and it's like you ignoring it, like you discontent, like, no, I don't want it, yada 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 yada. But I'm actually getting from this Four of Cups here is these may be, again, cycles, patterns that you collective, that you may be operating in, that's keeping you in a discontent and a bored state of mind, because it's a constant thing that's really not fulfilling to you, right? It's not your true heart's desires. And so, yeah, I feel like it's just a way to get you to reflect on, okay, well, this is what I have, but what can I create, right? With the employ, pioneering spirit, bring love into the situation. Again, what do I have? But these things that I'm possibly creating lack from, but how can I bring my heart into these desires that I want, right? And so not necessarily avoiding the emotions, but owning the emotions, like owning that you have this anger, owning that you have shame, owning that you have guilt, and bringing awareness to it so that you can actually bring love into the situation of saying, okay, well, why am I angry? Why do I want to create this from, like, why do I want to create security from anger? Or why am I denying myself of certain things that I do desire from shame or guilt? And so I feel like that's what bringing love into the situation is speaking about in regards to these fresh starts and new beginnings. It's not denying those negative emotions that you feel, but it's about bringing awareness to why you feel them so that you can truly create from a space of accountability. Okay, and I still ain't pulled the first card. Okay. Overall, I just want one, y'all. I just want one, and I want you to flip it over. I want to see it. Thank you. So, baby, I believe at the bottom we got soul, moon. And it's so crazy because Four of Cups is the moon energy, and also Cancer. So I feel like this has something to do with like your roots. It could have something to do with your home life, what it is you want to create, and maybe in the home life and connecting it back to the body in itself. Feeling complete in your own self, feeling complete in your body, creating space for those emotions to come up and to be released. Okay. What I want to do now? Oh, new moon, fresh starts. If you're looking for a sign, here it is. Fresh starts, new beginnings. Okay, clarify this soul card right here. Clarify the soul card. This is actually, I'm not going to pull that many cards. I just want one, y'all. I just want one to clarify the moon. I didn't see this one, but we got pause and rest. You deserve it. So dark moon, again, going back to that before the light hits the moon. It's that dark phase, that shadow. And so pause and rest. You deserve it. Just taking the time out to rest and reflect. I really feel like rest and reflect, rest and reflect, rest and reflect. This Leo season, rest and reflect. Bring light to some of the things that hold power over you when it comes to your shadow. Okay, I want to see it. Kali, Step into the unknown. Do not be afraid. Step into the shadow, baby. Express yourself. Share your gifts with the world. So again, when it comes to desires, I feel like most times the ego wants to be expressed in a way that's conducive to the growth of oneself and the people around it. But sometimes, again, with them, with the lower desires that we have, that may not come across the way that it's meant to be expressed, and so some people can come up misunderstood. Some people can come, it can come across misled, right? And so I feel like this time of operating from, or individuals who operate from a space of the shadow or unintegrated self, I feel like this is an invitation I feel like this is an invitation to pause and rest. Step into the unknown, right? I don't necessarily know if I want to say like the devil energy, the hidden patterns that you create from, the codependency that you have, the addictions that you have, basically confronting yourself, right? Confronting yourself of why you stop, or why you may be experiencing blockages, why the universe may be sitting you down when it comes to certain things that when you go to create what it is that you do desire. Because maybe it's not you technically not taking the action, but it's every time you do take the action or take a step forward, you feel like the universe is stopping you. And I feel like maybe this is a moment to really go within and ask yourself what you may be doing when it comes to taking action towards your desires, or not taking action towards your desires, right? What's stopping you from expressing yourself? And two, what's stopping the universe from reflecting? Because sometimes the universe will block you to stop you from forcing something into existence that doesn't align with the plan that it has for you, right? And so sometimes delays could be blessings. And so maybe there's something internally, right, with the anger or some of the energies, some of the emotions that you have, because you will always be met with the energy that you are, or the beliefs that you have, right? I have the body, the beliefs that you have, the beliefs that you hold, what it is. And so even when it comes to willpower and owning, the power is going to be reflected to you. And so sometimes the universe may block you or block certain things because it doesn't want you to continue to live in a cycle, right? It doesn't want you to continue to operate in a cycle without experiencing growth. And so that may be why the blockage is there. Also, I feel like internally, if there's something about you that's stopping you from expressing yourself, as opposed to stopping the universe from expressing a reflection to you, when it comes to you stopping yourself from expressing yourself, there may be this awareness that you may have of certain energies that you operate in when you do put yourself out there. And so it's like now you are, again, with the shame, the guilt, now you are resisting creating your desires because of what it brings out of you. That's not the card I want. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to my class. It's raining. It's raining. And I guess it depends on how hard it's raining when I finish this. Okay, so we're going to clarify. Ooh. I got the Knight of Wands with the Strength, Leo energy, Leo and Cancer, and Leo and Sun. So again, that Cancer, I feel, how are you going to move forward with the feelings that you have? Tower in reverse, delayed catastrophe, fear of pain, avoiding tragedy, resisting change, transformation. So that is so interesting. Delayed catastrophe. That's literally what I was just explaining in regards to the universe putting up blockages on purpose, or you not expressing yourself because of certain things that you feel. The fear of pain, avoiding tragedy. That is so crazy. That's so interesting. I'm trying to think, I think I want to wait to the end for that. And I might come back to that right now. Okay, so step into the unknown. Step into the unknown. Do not be afraid. Again, look into the own consciousness of who you are. We got the Knight of Swords. I feel like the Knight of Swords is basically you taking action to become aware of your thought process, the mind, right? How you may connect thoughts with emotions. I even heard somebody say that sometimes we deny ourselves of feeling in the moment, being present in the moment, being present within ourselves, being present within the body, right? Again, I have the body, owning, I will. Sometimes we deny ourselves of owning our willpower when it comes to the power to feel, the power to express what we feel, simply because of certain memories or experiences that we have and certain emotions that we've tied them to. Three of Swords, right? Three of Swords here. Trauma. Queen of Cups. So that's all I'm going to take for right now. Knight of Swords, Three of Swords, and Queen of Cups. So I feel like with this Queen of Cups here, it's about flowing through the experiences. Flowing through... flowing through your emotions, right? Again, I have the body. I have these feelings. You don't have any feelings. You experience the feelings. You are a witness of the feelings. And I think that's what the soul is trying to say. Like, remember the soul. Remember, you are not this vessel. Right? Remember, you are a soul inside this vessel. And so therefore, there is something within you that is experiencing all of these moments from moment to moment. And so this is why it's important to be present, because you have to remember the soul, the core of who you are. So yes, you may experience pain, you may experience trauma, you may experience these things, but you don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to internalize them. You could just let them flow the way that they need to flow. I want to know, in regards to what we have out here now, how does the fire energy tie into it? How does the desires tie into going with the flow of experiencing life's emotions? How does desires, the Empress. The Empress. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I got. Express yourself, make your gifts known to the world. Then we got the Ten of Pentacles here. So I feel like the experience of life is supposed to teach you the experience, the being present with your emotions, being present in the moment will somehow guide you to what it is that you desire. And so sometimes you feel anger because it lets you know when a boundary is crossed. Sometimes you feel shame because like I feel like all of these emotions that we try, all of these shadow things that we try to suppress somehow hold answers. Like, just blinked. They hold answers to where we are supposed to guide ourselves. And I think that's the emotional intelligence behind it. It's being able to sit with the emotion and figuring out, okay, well, what is this trying to tell me? And so sometimes when you feel shame, you can come to understand that, hey, this is an act against myself. And sometimes when you feel guilt, maybe you can have the understanding that, hey, this is an act against others. And so I feel like the allowing yourself to feel these emotions, and what you may come to realize is Leo season is allowing yourself to be vulnerable and feel these emotions will let you know what type of legacy that you want to create. And I'm not saying like a legacy when it comes to money, but I mean like legacy in character, legacy in who you are, legacy in how you want to express yourself and the gifts that you have, right? The spirit that you have. Really, I feel like the soul, the spirit is the gift, right? This is something that has been given to us by the divine. Without a spirit, without a soul, like, we really just would be walking around unconscious as fuck as beings. And truthfully, I just want to say, some of us are, even though we have a soul and we have a spirit, but because again, we walk around in that lack, that lower vibrational place and space, sometimes we forget the gift that we do have when it comes to the self-expression of the spirit and the soul and the light within us that wants to be seen. Oh my gosh, these are, I'm not taking these in reverse, but I want to see it, the card that comes out. I want to see it. So I'm gonna look at this. We got emotions are running high. Emotions are running high, and then we have expect powerful change. I love it. Expect powerful change. Point blank, period. I feel like you can expect the powerful change, and that's actually a new moon eclipse. So I feel like with the new moon eclipse, this is you eclipsing out that. And when I say eclipsing out that dark energy, eclipsing out dark energy, I really mean like hey, when I say eclipsing out dark energy, I do in a sense mean like see, they talking about a tornado, child. I'm not going. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, overshadowing, surpass or outshine, to do better than someone else or make something seem less important. Figurative meaning to surpass or outshine. And then it says, an astronomical event where one celestial body blocks light from another. That's crazy, because I just said So I don't know why I'm getting this when it comes to expect powerful change and then emotions are running high. Like there literally could be like an energy itself. I'm not necessarily gonna say anybody, but an energy itself that wants to outshine who you are. And so I feel like this may be why it's important, and not to like not be competitive or anything like that, but I feel like this is why it may be important for you to understand your own light. I feel like it's important for you to understand your own light, to understand that expect powerful change. Then we had that